good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are watching me right now. This is His Royal Majesty, Obi of Obindi Eze, Eze Ndi Eze, Igwe Ndi Igwe, Igwe Ka Igwe, Ezigbo, Biafra, Ezigbo, South African Biafra. It's good we say the truth, and truth shall set us free. The way I see Mazi Nnamdi's wife, I thought that she got something on her brain. But I don't know that she lacked nothing. I mean, she lacked wisdom. She talks anyhow. People who went to school does not talk anyhow, but she talks anyhow. And what baffles me, it is worrisome that this lady trying to tell the whole Biafrans all over the world that Biafra belong to her and his husband. Biafra belong to Afaruku Ibek. Forgetting that her husband took over from Rafa Wazirike. She talked nonsense. And again, what baffles me again, that she started intimidating and threatening people, calling people imbecile. Look at somebody who are fighting for freedom and calling a Biafran, an Igbo person like her, imbecile. Why she's imbecile? Why she's an idiot and idiotic? Why she's a fool and a foolish woman? Forgetting that this Biafra is not her property. Means that if Mazi Nnamdi can become, because let me tell you, women got too much power. She can do anything that will make Nnamdi Kanu to change her mind, started accepting whatever she said. If you don't know it. It's like Jezebel. She's a Jezebel. Don't neglect her. Don't neglect her, but the only problem she has is that she does not know that Biafra is a country. In South Africa, when they was fighting freedom, Prince Buthelezi was fighting his own side. Nelson Mandela, his own side. Oliver Tambo, his own side. Many people after, and Chris Hani, his own side. Not only one person fight for Biafra freedom. Because when she was talking, I thought that something is inside her brain. I find that nothing is there. Rather than the cunning, like a dove, like British people, is inside her brain. Nothing. She has nothing in her brain. Why can you be talking and intimidating people, calling people imbecile? Why you are imbecile that dump your husband for many years, not giving her food, following politicians up and down? You are among the people who sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the people we Biafrans try to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. They are talking rubbish. My own anger is that she started intimidating people, intimidating Biafrans. So if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decided to be president of Biafra, you tell her to be a dictator. You tell him to be a dictator. You tell him to die in power because you, the wife, want to enjoy power. Are you with your sense, this lady? Before you go to journalists or TV, nobody advise you. They just tell you to talk anyhow. Why are you coming to intimidate Biafrans? Who are you? And you are an Igbo woman. You know that when you are talking, you talk like an Igbo woman. You don't talk like a British woman. The way we have traditional, we have our culture. That's what makes me a king. We have a culture. You don't talk anyhow. Even you don't supposed to talk. Rather than make sure that everybody is happy, to make sure your husband is out. Your education is rubbish. Any faith without work is useless. Any education with wisdom is useless. Mazi Nnamdi Okwu Kanu, wife, your education without wisdom is useless. And you do not ever come out in social media to intimidate people, Biafrans, or call Biafrans imbecile. It's unacceptable. Even your husband will never accept that rubbish. And I know that people are keeping the record of what you just said, because he went there to see him. You don't know that there's a way you will push Mazi Nnamdi to be doing different things. Someone will stand and started fighting his own freedom and make sure we have Biafra. What we are talking is Biafra. We are not talking about Mazi Nnamdi or whatever. Yes, we love him, but we don't know how water enter inside the Opiubogro. We are expecting you lady, to come out and let us tell Biafrans, this is what happened to my husband in Kenya. This is how they kidnapped him to Nigeria. This is how they beat him. This is the people who are involved, because they are dining with those who kidnap your husband and rendition him to Nigeria. You are dining with them. You know everything. But say you are wanting Simon, you are wanting Kanu, you are wanting Ifeanyi Ejimako, because your boyfriend is not involved. It is very, very shameful for you to come and use such word, calling people imbecile. What your husband, yes, your husband can say idiot about that, a mood, and you are not your husband. Even if your husband calls somebody imbecile, there's the reason why he calls somebody imbecile. You are busy following your husband's enemies, moving around up and down. What do you think that Mazi Nnamdi will do inside to see you? If you see you can't say anything with you, because DSAs that's the type of job they want to do. Make sure you go there as a woman, because they know that women can change a lot of somebody's heart to do different things. If Mazi Nnamdi can change his heart and started talking about Nigeria, we dump him and continue with Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa have right to fight for Biafra freedom without even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I have right to fight for Biafra freedom. You, Kanu's wife, have right to fight for Biafra freedom in your own way. In my own way. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in his own way. Rafa Waziko in his own way. So you do not come out and telling us rubbish and nonsense. Education without wisdom is what? Useless. People, media should cut this statement I made now. Education without wisdom is rubbish. Education without wisdom is useless. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu got education without wisdom. A lady like you, calling able many of Igbos, are calling us, we are your God. You're calling us imbecile. Because you didn't call one person, because you didn't mention them, but you are calling, somebody can say you are calling Simon Ekpa. You may calling your husband even safe, imbecile. Because as long as you didn't mention them, nobody know who you are talking to. Or even you are calling ghost, imbecile. That it is, you deal with that person, you do that, you do this. You are talking nonsense. You didn't hear the story of South Sudan? How president remove vice president, and they fought like finish. People nearly being wiped out in South Sudan until they started making peace. You don't know about that. You think when your husband come, you will control that. You can't control Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, because Simon Ekpa have done a lot. Your husband is just preaching the gospel to the whole Nigerian, not even only Biafra. I'm not against your I'm not against your husband. He's our leader too. Onyendu is our leader. But you, woman, supposed to go and give your husband food. Know how your wife, what is happening to your husband, and start doing something about your husband. You don't supposed to be talking in public anyhow. Winnie Mandela doesn't call anybody. Winnie Mandela never insulted Prince Buthelezi, Chris Hani, Mandela, and other freedom fighters in South Africa, because everybody is fighting for the good of South African blacks, and that is how people will fight the welfare of all Biafrans. And that's what Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is doing. So you are very, very wrong for coming on social media talking nonsense. Because you are dining with the politicians. So for that, those who are not the politicians or the poor people will go and die. Look at you, who does not know anything. You don't know your left and right. My friend, stop that nonsense. Tell your advisors, they are advising you rubbish. They're not advising you what you're supposed to do. What they're advising you is wrong. Completely wrong. You're supposed to preach for peace in Igbo land, peace in Nigeria, peace in Biafra land, peace reign between Simon Ekpa and this slave, the OAC, who insulted him in different way, abused him in different way because he's fighting for freedom, because he spoiled their games and their planning and their criminality and their Zama, which you are one of them. What you're supposed to do as a woman bring peace. That is why I say, why Igbo? Onde ada abunde na-echekwa banguru. Not to destroy. And that is why every man should get married. When you marry, your wife will help you to bring peace in the family. But your own is you want to destroy, because the name of Mazi Nnamdi is everywhere. We can't eat, his name is everywhere. What we need is Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi wife, will you give us Biafra? Anybody who would not give us Biafra is useless. Anybody who won't give us Biafra, so that we stop this suffering, we stop this suffering from our enemies, is the enemy of progress. We need someone who will speak out, who will fight to defend the poor people in Biafra land, to defend our ancestral land, to defend our land, to defend all the elders and mothers, our mothers and our fathers. You're supposed to preach for peace, not talking nonsense, not intimidate. Who are you going to intimidate? 100 million people. Can't you see that you don't have any wisdom in your brain? Can't you see? Nothing is in your brain. The brain is dumb. Huh? So you don't do that. People are somewhere now clapping for this lady for what she's saying. People are somewhere clapping for this lady for what she's saying. Clapping for her. But she forgetting that she's insulting every Igbo man, every Biafran woman, every Biafran man, everybody. She's insulting us by calling people imbecile. Who are you to call us imbecile? Do you think that you are so beautiful that you are not beautiful? You ugly is more than monkey. Eh? I'm talking to Kanu wife. You won't do me anything. It's somebody who will speak out. Speak against the evil you have in your mind. Speak the evil, the spirit of Jezebel. As I'm talking, the spirit of Jezebel in you should leave you immediately and run away. Because the evil spirit of Jezebel will never lead you to anywhere rather than destruction. The evil spirit of Jezebel will use you, destroy Biafra, or make you, after we declare Biafra, we started fighting each other again. That's what your word is saying, going. What is IPOP when they remove your husband? If Simon didn't expose it, the way they remove your husband, put you among. Everything that happened to your husband, your hand is there. You are involved, one way or another. So don't make us to think that you don't know what is happening or your hand is not there and you are not involved. The way you didn't call people with name, those people you are using kind of proverb or paragraph, talking to. You are talking nonsense. You are talking to Biafrans. Because if you mention them, we know where you are going. Eh? My friend, respect yourself. You are a woman, and not only a woman, Biafra is more than 100 million. So Biafra is a country. It is not Abia property. It is not Afaruku property. It is not Umaya property. It's not state property. It's for the whole country. And Prime Minister is in charge of the whole country.